Yes. Welcome to Karat Juice. This is the third installment of my podcast. I'm your host, Monte Lee. I'm going to start off with a little bit of housekeeping. Make sure to enjoy yourself, kick back, relax. This podcast I'm putting out to hopefully add value to people's lives, but also to allow them to just enjoy and indulge in the content. Not taking myself too seriously, so I hope that you don't. All right. So, if you don't know what Karat Juice is right now, I'll let you know. It's literally my avenue, my way to provide some insight, to get people to laugh, to get people to think about things in a different way. I always said at some point I wanted to write a book, so I'm putting those thoughts, some of those things that I wanted to say to get off of my chest per se, I'm putting it in this form because in this platform, in this mode of audio of content, because I've always gravitated towards podcasts and to audiobooks because they're so intimate. I feel like they allow you to still do what you're going to do in your life, multitask, and still get information, get knowledge, learn about stories. So, Karat Juice, it's my way to provide some nuggets, some carrots of wisdom into your life. And thank you for taking the time to listen to me and to go on this journey with me. So without further ado, let's get into it. So to preface this first topic that I'm going to cover, I just want you to know that I'm not going to front or anything like that. I am not a huge fan of golf. I've never been around it in my life. I've played like mini golf a couple of times with some friends at like Craig's Cruisers. I've done a couple of other like little mini golf sessions, but I've never actually golfed in my life. And I think the reason behind that is while growing up, my friends would ask me to go play football, throw a ball at the park, or to go to a local gym and play basketball. We had a recreation gym when I was growing up, and then every day, for the most part on weekdays after school, I would go and play basketball from like 6 to 8 at a place called Paul I, and I loved it. It was here in Grand Rapids, and it was an amazing place, and it allowed me to remain active as a kid and to, stay out of trouble. So I was so grateful for that, outlet. However, I never had a friend ask me while growing up, you know what, let's go to the golf course and play some rounds. I don't even know if that's what people call it that play golf. Play rounds? Anyway, I think the reason behind that is golf is tied to access, especially when it comes to kids. Usually, from where I grew up at least, you got to have a certain level of, resources and affluence to be able to, have access to a course and have the equipment, have all of the clubs and all that. So I think that's why I never gravitated towards that. And as you know, well, if you're just listening to me, I'm a black man, and I grew up in the inner city, and we didn't have, that much when I was growing up. We had enough, we had food and everything, but not so much that we were going to go rent time to play golf. With that being said, I just want to preface this by saying I don't know much about the game, but I do want to talk about Tiger Woods and what happened to him. I believe it was last week. I'm recording this today. It's March 1st. I believe his accident occurred. I'll get the exact time. Let's see. Let me check on this. like 5 days ago, I believe, something like that. It's actually Sunday. Am I right? Well, nonetheless, 24th actually happened on 24th. So yeah, so Tiger Woods was in a pretty bad accident, and the reason why I wanted to talk about that today is it seems definitely was very serious. And when I first heard the news, I heard about like multiple leg fractures and stuff like that, and I was like, wow, is he gonna be able to pull through, you know? So that was pretty jarring to hear. And even to talk about like what I said before about how I really didn't follow golf growing up, I would catch Tiger and see how he was doing if he was in a major and he was like competing and was close. I would catch him. So that's how important he is to that sport. And you just hate to see something like that happen to Tiger. And I think it's safe to say this he doesn't have the best luck when it comes to vehicles. I mean, this is like the third incident, right? That something happened to him involving a vehicle. The first time was the situation with the infidelity. The second time was a couple years back with the medications, and now this. So, I mean, well wishes to Tiger Woods and his family, and I hope him a speedy recovery. But why I want to get further into this, I want to talk about what is it going to look like for him moving forward. Golf, like, will golf ever be the same without, Tiger? He means so much. So let's delve into this further. So first of all, what actually happened? And I'm going to credit the New York Post article here. And they are, that's where I'm getting my information. Oh, actually, the crash occurred on February 23rd. So according to that New York Post article, it's saying that Tiger Woods appeared to not be paying attention in the moments before his devastating crash and may have fallen asleep at the wheel of the luxury SUV he was driving, according to a report citing forensic car accident experts. So his injuries as a result of this crash include several broken bones in his lower right leg, which indicates he was applying the brake at the time of impact, adding to the evidence that shows that he braked late into the collision sequence. Fortunately, he's still alive, but it looks like he's going to have multiple surgeries, all types of pins and nails and rods and everything in his legs. And what really jarred me is when I saw that he actually had let me get this right, a comminuted open fracture. I never even heard of that before, and I looked it up, and I'm telling you, you do not want to see this again. You do not, because I remember seeing somebody have what do they call that? Like an open fracture when I was watching the March Madness tournament, maybe like, what was that, 2015, maybe 2014, 2015, with Travis Ware with the Louisville Cardinals. Remember March Madness? He was going out to close out. I don't know if it's like Sweet 16 or whatever, but he was going to close out on the shooter. And when he came down, Travis Ware, he was kind of like in an awkward position and turning. And I remember that there was like a raised court, because usually they play these March Madness games in like stadiums that usually don't hold basketball games, usually like football arenas or whatever, so they can have more people in attendance, more fans. So they had the raised court there, and they were this happened right near the bench where his teammates were. And when he went down and turned, his leg was like broken in like two spots and his bone was exposed. And you just saw all of his teammates just get up and run away. To this day, that is one of the most gruesome injuries I've ever seen in my life. So when I heard about this incident, it just shook me, and I really felt that same type of just like sadness for him. So I really hope that he can recover from this incident. I know that he's going to have the best doctors money can buy, but it's really unfortunate because it seems like he was doing so great with, getting all over the mental hurdles and, the lack of, confidence and all that came with all the losses he had after his previous comeback. So for him to have to go through this now, I know that he's mentally strong, mentally tough because he's been through so much, but man, you hate to see something like this happen to somebody when they're back and doing well and are on the cusp of winning more titles because he had already been through so much. So I guess the Lord doesn't put you in situations that you can't control, and, stress and tense moments like this is built for shoulders. So I wish you the best of the luck. To close this, I also want to read another quote because there was a great gesture that some of the other golfers did at their golfing event they had a couple of days ago. I think it was yesterday, actually. And this credit goes to the New York Post article as well. And it goes like this. In his first comments after the crash, Woods said Sunday, "It is hard to explain how touching today was when I turned on the TV and saw all the red shirts," referring to his peers wearing his signature Sunday outfit of red shirt and black pants during the final round of the WCG Workday Championship. To every golfer, he says, to every golfer and every fan, you are truly helping me get through this tough time. So I thought that was dope that they stood in solidarity with him and made that gesture to raise his spirits. So with that being said, we are going to move on with the program. But before that, we're going to pay some bills. Thank you for listening to the Karat Juice Podcast, and I want to let you know about one of our sponsors, Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, let me tell you a little bit about it. First of all, it's free. You know I'm always about a deal, so that's a big plus right there. There are also creation tools in the app and in the software that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will also distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's literally everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right, and we're back. Now moving on to something that I really wanted to get off of my chest. I have a question for you. Why is the Kim Ye departure so important? What's the big deal? I was strolling through Apple News, how I often do throughout the day, to catch up on actual news, right? And while I was doing that, it seemed, I don't know if it's just me, you guys reach out and tell me if that's not the case for you, but it seemed while I was doing that, every other article was about Kim changing the locks for this, or Kanye not liking the situation, and or Kim Kardashian flashes her killer figure while wearing a skimpy bikini, or Kim Kardashian going out for drinks with friends during this tough time. I'm like, look, why are people so involved and concerned about a celebrity couple's, you know, breakup, dissolution, the dissolving of a marriage? Like, does Kim and Kanye no longer being together really affect your life in any way? Me personally, I would say no. This does not have any bearing on other people's lives. And at the end of the day, someone is departing from their marriage. I have no judgment on it, but I couldn't imagine being in that type of situation where everything in my life is picked and prodded like that. I guess because you're in that public spotlight, that's something that you take on with it. But it's getting like ridiculous. We have things like coronavirus. We have these new vaccines coming out. We have all of these things. The Senate and trying to track whatever they are doing. I don't really know at all, because it seems like they're just spinning their wheels half the time. However, with all that going on, we talking about Kim Ye divorce every 2 seconds. Like, I just don't get it. And also, to piggyback on that, this is my rant segment, so buckle up. The Kardashian show is finally leaving, finally packing its bags, getting its travel bag all nice, Louis, Chanel, all that, packing its butt up and getting out of here. Good riddance. I will not miss their programming one bit. Honestly, their content has not added value to my life in any way, and I really don't see it adding value to the lives of most of the people that's watching it. I think a lot of people, from what I've seen, especially young women, are looking at them and looking up to them and what they represent, and are getting a false sense of what it's like to move through the world and to have dignity and to have grace and to have humility. I really don't think it's the best example for what our young people should be looking at. And that's no knock against those women. They're very business savvy. They know how to make money. They know how to market. They know how to campaign and all that. But when I look at just the images and what I see a lot of women doing now based on that show, I really don't like what I see. Like, basically, it's made a lot of young girls feel self-conscious about their looks. And what I always try to say, and what I always try to tell women when I talk to them, like, natural looks are better, in my opinion. Like, less makeup. As far as with the hair, your own hair is always welcome. Like, you don't need all of those lip fillers, all of these crazy fake butts with weird, waistlines. Like, those women, like, especially Kylie too, like, I'm pretty sure she hasn't seen the inside of a gym or a Stairmaster in years. However, she has this weird figure that nobody would actually have in real life because it's not built. It's not built. It's bought. And basically what I'm trying to say is find better role models, people. Watching people and their show is scripted too. Like, it's not even real life. They literally are showing you this life that you think they're having, and it's not even real. It's scripted throughout. Like, come on, man, it's fake. Half of their bodies are fake. Their content is fake. Like, what are we doing here? So, good riddance. Keeping up with the Kardashians. You guys have made a ton of money. Go, like, eat a sandwich. Go somewhere. Because I want to see actual people that are moving in a way that's respectful, with grace, be role models for our young people and for our women in this age, because I feel like things have got so skewed by their influence in the wrong ways that it's actually set a lot of women back, like young women back, who are perfectly fine the way they are. I don't want to say I'm down in women. Like, they look beautiful the way they are, and I want more of that to be pushed rather than these fake Barbie figures that aren't even real. Like, you ever seen a movie called I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker? There was a scene in that movie where I think it was Damon Wayans or Keenan Ivory Wayans went to a bar. Then he came back with a lady from the bar, and she was looking good at the bar and everything. But then when he got her back to his room and they were about to become intimate or whatever, she started taking off her lashes. She wiped off her makeup. She took off her Spanx or whatever, her tights. Then she took off her hair, and she was bald. Then she took off her left leg and everything. And then she started, like, crawling after he was terrified. And she started crawling at him like the creature in the Black Lagoon, like something off of It or something. And that's what's starting to happen to a lot of people, unfortunately, because some of these women, young people who look perfectly fine by themselves, are putting on this comical, clown makeup because of this, like, the standards that they're trying to uphold to because of keeping up with the Kardashian. So, long story short, peace. Don't need you. We never really did. I will say this, though, caveat. I respect what Kim is doing as far as with the social justice stuff, as far as with getting people who don't deserve to be in prison for life, getting them, getting that news out there. All the work she's done as far as getting people's sentencings commuted, all that. I want to see more of that, because I believe she is so much more than posing in a bikini shot. That's just like low hanging fruit. Like, when she's doing things like that and where her trajectory is going, awesome. More of that. I want to see more of that type of work and less of the fabulous glam shots, because it's getting old. Like, we're just over it. I'm going to leave that there. Okay. So with that being said, we are going to just scroll right past the whole Kim Ye thing. They're getting divorced. It's cool. He's going to drop some new music. He's going to drop some new shoes. It's going to be a whole shindig about it. And he's going to talk about how sad he is about this whole situation. But then he's going to drop some new shoes. He'll be fine. She's going to be fine. I wish you guys the best in whatever you got going forward. But can we please move the conversation forward? Because I'm tired of seeing the articles. Okay, that's my rant. All right. All right. With that being said, we're going to take a little break. I'm going to get me a beverage. And then in the meantime, we got another message from our sponsor for mid-roll. So we will be right back to wrap up the show after that. So I also wanted to talk about something that I've seen recently that I'm very excited about. This is a mini spoiler. Well, it's not really a spoiler, but if you haven't seen the Mortal Kombat 2021 trailer, I'm going to be giving my reaction to that right now. So if you haven't seen that, you want to know what I'm talking about, go check out the Mortal Kombat 2021 trailer being produced by, I think, Warner Bros. And New Line Cinema. So go catch that and then come right back if you haven't seen it. All right. So let's talk about Mortal Kombat. Oh, yeah. Watched the trailer. Loved it. So happy that it's coming. It's going to be here with us before we speak. Going to be released on April 16th in theaters and on HBO Max. I loved the feel of this trailer because, first of all, it washed away that putrid vomit-filled taste I had in my mouth from Mortal Kombat Annihilation that came out in 97. Movie was gross, disgusting, never should have been made. It was a slap in the face of everybody who ever rocked with Mortal Kombat. And I've been rocking with Mortal Kombat for years. I remember playing Mortal Kombat on the Sega. I'm talking about those long days on the weekend or after school playing against your cousin, playing against your brother, Cheetos on your fingers, sweaty palms, Sega Genesis in front of you on the set-top box with the cartridges where you had to blow in that boy like 2 or 3 times to get it started, and then it was in. I'm talking about Sub-Zero. I'm talking about Scorpion. I'm talking about Cabal. I'm talking about Mortal Kombat Ultimate, Noob Saibot, Ermac. What y'all guys know about that? I have so many fond memories of playing Mortal Kombat games. And the cool thing about this trailer was it reminded me of a new age version if it was picking up from the 95 Mortal Kombat, the first movie that came out. And that movie was hard. Anybody that's seen the Mortal Kombat from 95, I'm talking about where we followed the story of Liu Kang going through the first Mortal Kombat tournament in the movie. I'm talking about him having nightmares about Shang Tsung, taking his brother's soul. I'm talking about learning and him being introduced to Princess Katana, Goro, Johnny Cage with the nice suits, Sonya Blade, Jax, the original crew, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. And of course, Lord Raiden. But I'm just talking about that feel. That's what this movie, I hope, lives up to. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, it's picking up from the Mortal Kombat from 95, scratch Annihilation, and we're back into it. Some caveats, some things that I saw in the trailer that really have me excited. First of all, I like the casting decisions. I like who they picked for Liu Kang. You got to get Liu Kang right, okay? I like that the Shang Tsung looks similar to the Shang Tsung from the 95. A lot of the character choices, as far as casting, on point, very close. Melina, her licking that kunai, amazing, creepy, little mysterious. Looks like she got some creature in her and all that. The teeth look jagged, just like how Melina's are. Love that. Sub-Zero. Growing up, Sub-Zero was one of my favorite characters to play with. I've always enjoyed the lore behind Mortal Kombat, and especially the iconic fights, duels between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. The whole duality between the fire and ice, They're both ninja, and who didn't love ninjas growing up? I mean, come on, be right. I think I asked my mom for the first 7 years that I was alive. I wanted to be a ninja for Halloween almost every time. I mean, come on now, got to be all mysterious, working on my backflips, working on my cartwheels, never can't land them, but in my mind, I'm Simone Biles, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But before I digress, the trailer, hard body. One of my favorite things that I saw was the interaction with the fight scenes. Looks like they're doing a good job. Trailer first start, you see Jax, and you see him fighting with Sub-Zero, and then he freezes Jax's arms and rips them apart. Now, I don't know if that's consistent with the actual Mortal Kombat lore, like the actual traditional story, but the way that they did that, hard. Loved it. Also, the fight Sub-Zero had in the trailer, they showed a little snippet of it with Sub-Zero when he hits Sub-Zero, some blood comes out of Sub-Zero hits Scorpion, some blood comes out of Scorpion, he freezes it, turns it into a pick, and then he stabs Scorpion with his own blood. Savage. Moments like that in Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat has always been brutal. It's been visceral. If you play the games, you know what I'm talking about. They have brutalities and fatalities. The brutalities were the best because it was literally a 30-punch combo and then somebody's head gets knocked off. So it's a savage game. It's not for the faint of heart. And the movie has to replicate that. It can't be PG. The best... If you go on Mortal Kombat, you got to go mature. You got to go rated R if you're really going to go Mortal Kombat because it's that savage. Just the original content, it's that, brutal, and the gore factor and all that from what I saw in the trailer is consistent with OG Mortal Kombat. So I'm all for it. So disappointments that I saw in Annihilation with just how hokey and cheesy it was with the effects and all that. It seemed like that has been eradicated here, and I'm really excited. And because that's coming out, I saw that trailer. After I saw that, I got so pumped up and excited about the movie, I actually went and downloaded Mortal Kombat 11 on my PS5. So after I get done with this podcast, you already know I'm about to, do some elbows, some, uppercuts, get my dodge game right, pull off a couple of brutalities, do what I can, get it going because I'm pumped, man. I love Mortal Kombat, always have. So I have a couple of questions for you guys, and I'm going to post this question on my Instagram. Make sure you follow me on Instagram too if you haven't already. My Instagram, it's Karat Juice Pod. Just like it sounds. Follow me on there. I'm going to be posting some content, and I'm asking this question right now. Who is your favorite character in Mortal Kombat ever? Favorite character in Mortal Kombat ever. Also, if some people want to get some work, I might have to, hop on and drop some people off in the PS5 on the Mortal Kombat 11, you know what I'm saying? See what you got. Test it out, all right? So with that being said, I just wanted to share how excited I am, about the new Mortal Kombat movie coming out. So, like I said before, it's going to be coming out April 16th in theaters and on HBO Max, and I couldn't be more excited. And with that being said, I'm going to be wrapping up the show here now. Thank you for taking the time to just appreciate what I'm providing, just listening and kicking back and hopefully enjoying what I have to say. Please subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already done done so and you want more content, I'm going to be dropping these episodes every Tuesday, and I'll drop bonus episodes when I feel like doing so. Feel free to leave a review. It really helps out and I would appreciate it. And I would love to get feedback from you guys on whatever, on things you like about the show, things you don't like. If you want me to cover a certain topic or you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. I want this to be interactive. I want this to be fun. I don't take myself too seriously, like I said before, and we'll keep it moving that way. All love and good vibes. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. Make sure as you move through life, you take the time to appreciate all the things you have. I'm appreciative that I have a place to eat, to live. I have good food. I have good friends and family in my life, and I am happy with where I am. So with that being said, hug someone, love someone, eat some good food, and I will see you guys in the next one. Signing out. Peace.